Let's be very clear on this. We have a report or a guide from the Committee on Rules and Business. And following that rule, the report had been laid, debate had been led. And the rule says, at this point, the Senate President, presiding officer, should put a question as to whether the report should be accepted or rejected. And that question was put, and the ayes had it, and that report had been approved. The approval of that report also indicates that the recommendations and everything in the report have been approved. And so we cannot go back, therefore, to call for another motion, because doing so means that following our rules, there has to be a written motion to rescind the earlier decision taken by the Senate. And in this instant case, Mr. President, there's no reason to rescind the approval of that report.
Mr. President, I think, not even I think, what the deputy leader is saying, sitting as the leader of the Senate, is that in case there's any inadequacy, in case there's any mistake, he's now invoking Order 1B that allows us to regulate our own affairs, the way we do our things here, that we are coming under Order 1B in dealing with this matter. It's just for the sake of caution. It's for the sake, in case there's any inadequacy, so that we will not run outside the confines of our rules. This is what it's talking about. So I therefore call on the deputy leader to second the motion earlier moved by the deputy leader or the leader of the Senate.
One thing is in line with the proceedings of the Senate. However, a motion was moved and seconded, and the ayes had it, that we should revert to committee of the whole. So we will revert to committee of the whole in line with the earlier resolution of the Senate. Member of the Northwest Development Commission and the Southeast Development Commission, the Senate President must have read the name at least four times. So I believe it's better to err on the part of surplusage than for us to leave something hanging. So I thank the leader of the Senate for utilizing the rule standing Order 1B to bend that even though we had approved the reports, that there was need for us to go back into committee of the whole to ensure approval and further confirmation of the appointees. And I think this clears the air to avoid any litigation arising therefrom as a result of the procedure of the Senate. So I thank all of you for your patience, and I want to wish the appointees well in their new endeavors. They should remain dedicated to the service of the nation. The zonal or regional development commissions are going to become major nexus between the federal government administration and the development of the various states in each of the regions. And I believe strongly that that nexus will help us to drive down development to the grassroots in the country. So I thank the National Assembly as a whole for the initiative of creating these regional developmental bodies in order to ensure that the dividends of democracy reach every nook and cranny of the nation. And we are through now with the ones of the Northwest and then the Southeast. So I thank all of you for your patience, and I wish the appointees well in their new endeavors. Leader of the Senate, can we take the last item on the other paper?
Have met and harmonized differences in accordance with Senate Standing Order 86. Mr. President, with your kind permission, I move the motion for the Senate to adopt the conference report.
President, Senator Nwebonyi Onyekachi is my name. I represent the good people of Ebonyi North Senatorial Zone of Ebonyi State. Mr. President, before us is a conference committee report on Southwest Development Commission Establishment Bill 2025. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Southwest Development Commission bill was passed by the Senate and House of Reps with a lot of differences. Consequently, a conference committee was constituted in the Senate and in the House of Reps to reconcile the areas of differences that appeared in the two versions. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the conference committee met and observed that the two bills as passed had substantial differences in some of the provisions, in particular clauses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, clause 12, 13, 14, 21, and clause 22. The committee therefore deliberated upon those areas of differences and harmonized them accordingly. The conference committee hereby recommends for adoption and approval of the harmonized version of the bill as follows: that the Senate / House of Reps do consider and approve the conference committee report on the Southwest Development Commission Establishment Bill 2025 as recommended. On behalf of the members of the conference committee, we wish to thank the National Assembly and in particular Mr. President for finding us worthy to serve in this capacity. Thank you, Mr. President. I therefore seek the leave of the Senate to lay the report accordingly. Thank you, sir.
Please proceed. Harmonize. For instance, I've seen where the House of Reps version have been taken, where the Senate version was adopted, and all.
It's so in the report, sir.
Yes, so I believe you have done your work.
Thoroughly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So let me thank you for your work and also thank all your members. Can I now put a question? Those in support that the harmonized version of the report from both chambers be concord and be accepted, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Accordingly, we invite the clerk of the Senate to read the short title or the long title and pass. Go ahead, read it. Go ahead and read. Read for me. Development Commission Establishment Bill 2025. The harmonized version is hereby approved by the Senate and passed. So, distinguished Senator Webwe, I thank you and your committee members for a job well done. And I believe this can now go to Mr. President for assent. and the MDS to come and continue with the budget proceedings on a daily basis. But plenary is suspended until 28th day of January 2025. So do you?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues.
Just slight amendment that we adjourn for about 1 hour to come back to approve the votes and proceedings of today, and then proceed.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion moved by Senate Leader as amended. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the Senate Leader has proposed that we adjourn for 1 hour to enable us to come back and approve the votes and proceedings of today, and thereafter proceed to suspend plenary for 2 weeks to enable our Committee on Appropriation and the various standing committees of the Senate to deal with the heads of parastatals, MDS ministers, and others on the 2025 budget, and then resume on the 28th day of January for continuation of proceedings. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. We'll return in the next 1 hour to look at the votes and proceedings.